This is probably an exceptionally bad idea. Hi guys, how are you? Oh my god. Man, phew, since we last talked, things have been going well, don't get me wrong, but oh my god, my body is just destroyed. And I would be sleeping right now if I could be. I meant to do a show Friday night, and then I meant to do one last night, but I keep making very bad decisions. So Friday, I decided to do some lawn work. Oh, I should say hi. Welcome, everybody. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. But if you're watching this, you probably already know that. You like how lazy I went with the title and everything today? That should let you know what kind of show you're in for. Oh, Jesus, man. So, yeah, I did yard work Friday night. And when I was done, it's like, no, I got to go to bed. I sent Jack a message like, I did yard work and now I want to die. And then we got up today and, well, yesterday now, Saturday, put it that way. And we were going to my uncle's 50th wedding anniversary. And it's my favorite uncle. Don't tell my other uncles this. But it's my favorite uncle. And coincidentally, the only one who's never been divorced. But him and they celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. So we went down for that and the whole family was there. And I have a large family. My dad had 7 brothers, 5 of which are still alive. Well, he had 6 brothers. There were 7 boys, 5 of which are still alive. And they all made it. And it was a good time. It really was. But I was up and moving way more than I should have been. And the second youngest granddaughter, my son's youngest daughter, needed grandpa to carry her a bunch because she loves grandpa. Papa, papa, papa. The whole trip down, it was down in Grand Rapids, the whole trip down. Papa, papa, papa. Like, what, baby? Papa, papa. She just loves chanting papa's name and getting papa's attention. But yeah, so I am beat the fuck up. Happy as a clam, though, man. I had a great time. It was great seeing everybody. I'm one of the older cousins. My cousins groups, there's 3 distinct groups of cousins. There's the older cousins, of which I'm like the middle child of. Then there's the middle set of cousins who came about 5 to 6 years after my little brother was born. And then there's a clump of cousins. And then a couple years after that, there were 2 more who were born. And so it's always weird seeing them because there's those of us who are a bit older. Like me and my cousins, the older cousins, we're all in our 50s now, except for my little brother. He's 49. But then the next group of cousins is still in their like late 30s. So it's almost like seeing somebody else's kids. That they were always the little ones. You know what I mean? Love them to death. They're great people. But man, good God. Where's Optimus? He's probably sleeping. I sent him a message a little while ago telling him I was going to do a show. It was probably an hour ago. So he probably fell asleep in his chair. But the reason I said this is probably a bad idea is because I went reading the news, guys, like I always do. And I got to be honest with you, I was disappointed. Is that the word I want to hear? Why is there an adorable cat here? Well, Comrade Kitty, I need to be able to see whether or not I get disconnected from you guys. Oh, which, by the way, we're on Starlink, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, they usually fuck with stuff. So if I disappear around 5, just know I will be back, I promise. But I need to be able to see when I get disconnected, and so I have to keep a picture on the screen. I have to keep something on the screen, and now I do kitty cats, and this is one of the kitty cats that was sent to me over the last couple of days. I got a bunch of them, and I'll try to get them all on the screen. If I don't get to your kitty, it is not that I don't like your kitty. It's his kitty collection. You know, Blue Eyed, you'd think I'd be smart enough by now to go ahead and start saving these in a file so I can just bring them up quickly, but I am not that smart, and that's a hard thing to come to grips with. Did you see people were saying Trump was dead because he didn't tweet for a day? Yes, I did. Cannibalistic. I only got on the internet for like 10 seconds yesterday after we left. And that was the one thing I was saying, like, Trump he's not in public today. He must have died. And it was amazing how many of the people who were saying this were like, they're saying Trump's dead and I'm okay with that. Or they say Trump's dead and that's a great thing. Like, really? Even when Biden was president, and I fucking hated Biden. I think I I made that pretty clear. I didn't want the president to die in office. I don't want to live through that. I don't want to live through a 25th thing or which, that's a line of succession. I don't want to live through any of this shit. You don't like the guy in office? Fine. But why are you wishing for his death? Do you guys really, hey, Democrats, do you really want to give JD Vance a jump on the next election? Are y'all retarded? Hello from England, enjoying your show. Hello. How's things across the pond today? I saw a bunch of stuff about your place. There's like protests and shit going on across the English world. In fact, on my Twitter right now, there's one from Sydney and Brisbane. I know I probably pronounce your places wrong, but it's probably what? Sydney. No, it's Melbourne. Anyway, but there also were some going on in the UK and some up in, well, I was going to say in the UK and Ireland. There was some going on in England and Ireland. And look, I really hope it works for you guys. I hope you guys can get people in there who put you ahead of your, how do I put this? Newly arrived compatriots. You know what I mean? Immigrants, let's just say what it is. I hope that you guys finally get leaders who are like, no, England comes first, or no, Ireland comes first. Your leaders should be putting your country first. They should have to save the world. I'm going to be a little bit of a downer for all of you out there. Like, look at this pushback. Oh God, motherfucker. Whew. Look, people are rising up. Yes, some people are rising up. But this has been a problem, especially in England, for more than a decade. This is not new. It's not like they just started letting refugees in. And you've had elections since then, and what'd you guys do? You guys got the assholes in there who are like, no, we need to bring the migrants. So I want to believe that you guys are on the right path. For you, not for me. I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect me. But I want you guys to have a country that puts you guys first. But I don't think your voting base is smart enough for that. I'm just being honest. And it's not that, you guys are dumb. It's that the whole notion of self-preservation and self-interest has been so beaten down. Like, no, we have to make the whole world a better place. Let the rest of the world make themselves a better place. Fuck off with that shit. It's been a long time coming. I hope it's not too late for us all. Here in America, let's talk about this honestly. If you go look at the British press right now, it's not the same as looking at Twitter and seeing people cheering on these protests. Instead, it's them going, look at these racist protests. They're calling their own flags racist, for fuck's sake. They're like, people who are putting up flags are racist. Yeah, okay. How dare you have national pride? And the reality is, the reason America has fought back against our illegal immigration problem, or immigration problem in general, is because we're allowed to have that conversation. And our media can't just shut down. They try. They absolutely try. They oh my God, look, you're racist if you say illegal immigrants shouldn't be here. They're right now throwing a big old fit because an illegal from El Salvador, who's a journalist, I'm using air quotes, got arrested at a protest and ICE took him. And the original charges against him, which were obstructing the police, unlawful protest. I forget what else he was charged with. Those charges have all been dropped. So he should be let free. He's still an illegal. And then his lawyer said that, and that's why we cat on the screen. 1 second, guys. I'm also getting a sinus thing as this is going on with me. I realized mid nose blow that I didn't check to make sure that I muted before I did it. Whoopsie. Luckily I did, so you guys didn't have to hear boogers. Anyway, so this illegal El Salvadorian journalist has been held by ICE ever since, and they're trying to get a judge to let him go because he he qualifies for a visa. He's here illegally. He shouldn't qualify for a visa. Period. End of story. He needs to go back to El Salvador, and they're trying to get a judge to let him free. One judge gave him a $7,500 illegal alien bond. Yeah, sure. I'm sure he'll make sure to be at his next court appearance. But that got put on hold as it's being appealed because there is no good reason to give bond to illegals. They should be rounded up and sent the fuck home. But there's a bunch of people, oh my God, you're only doing this because he's a journalist. He's covering anti-Trump stuff and you hate him for that. If that were the case, there's tons of people we could lock up just based on that. And it's not like American presidents haven't done this before. Right, Lincoln? So I'm not saying no president would do that, right, Obama? But it's not what's happening here. The guy's in the country illegally. He needs to go to fuck home. But the bleeding hearts out there can't have that. No, 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 no. Hey, he's a hard work. He's got kids here. He probably should have thought of that before he came here illegally and stayed. Thank you, FL. What baffles me is the insistence that you can pull someone from a country with a strict caste or tribal system and expect it to just disappear. Yeah. Well, these people all treat it like it's a Hollywood movie, right? Like they get over here and they find our freedom and they're like, oh, I'm going to embrace this. I saw some person trying to argue that illegals are the most patriotic Americans, not immigrants, illegals. They were specific about this. When it comes to immigrants, when it comes to naturalized citizens, seriously, you will not find more patriotic people in most cases. These are the most patriotic people. They wanted to be Americans. The illegals don't want to be Americans. They want American money. They want American entitlements. They want the wealth of America, but not America. It's why they come here and go to Dearborn, Michigan. Go to Dearborn, Michigan, and tell me it's not Little Somali. Excuse me, Dragod. Thank you. Hey, Monkey, did you see the Krasenstein timeline during the Catholic school incident? No, which one of them is Brian or Ed? How is he not banned? I don't follow the Krasensteins anymore. I got so bored by their blatant troll farming. They're bad at it too. It's not even interesting most of the time. I didn't follow them during this, and frankly, I haven't been online much at all. But I'm glad you brought that up because the reason that you're not going to see a change in England or London, or sorry, England or London. I mean, technically, those are two different things. London is part of England, but not all of England is London. So I didn't say the dumbest thing ever, just kind of dumb. The reason you're not going to see a change from protests in London or in Brisbane, or I don't know where they're doing it in Ireland. I just know they had some kind of stuff. But you're not going to see that kind of change because of things like this shooting the other day. I saw a video from the day of the shooting, just hours after the shooting, where there's a woman in that town where the shooting took place in what, Minneapolis? That's where it was, right? Anyway, she's making a video about how the shooting happened, and she's like, I don't know any of the people involved, but I've already seen this happening, and we will not misgender the shooter. Just because somebody does something bad, we're not going to misgender the shooter. There was I think, was it CNN? I know I have this on my profile somewhere. CNN put out a correction. Is this the right one? Okay. Oh, sorry. It was MSNBC, or not MSNBC, NBC. This is a correction. A previous version of this article used the wrong pronoun for the shooter. She used female pronouns. This is where we are. Like, hey, that dead degenerate that killed children, you respect their pronouns. One of the funniest things to me about this, the reaction to the shooting, there's nothing funny about the shooting, but the reaction to the shooting. One of their things to defend trans people was most shooters are white males. Just think about that for a minute. To defend the trans people, they're like most shooters are white males, and this was a biologically white male. But they can't say that. They can't say that because we gotta respect everyone's feelings. Respect my feelings. And that's why you're not going to see a change in England or Canada or anywhere that you. Hi. We're getting around that 5 o'clock mark. So yeah, sorry, my Starlink's acting up. It's going to be that kind of show anyway. Um, we are run by a bunch of people who think feelings are the most important thing, and it doesn't matter what reality is. It doesn't matter what science is. What matters is how they feel. I feel like a girl. You're not. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Hi, I'm a girl. No, you're not. Even if you cut off your wang, you're still a dude. You're just a mutilated dude. I saw a video earlier this morning. It was a trans person who starves themselves. It's a guy. If I had to guess his height, I'm guessing about 5'9", 5'10". He weighs. Said he weighed 115 pounds, and that made him a girl. You see, that and his long hair and his eyeliner. And he says, "Tell me I wasn't bathed in estrogen in the womb." You weren't. You're still a dude. You're a guy. But we're not supposed to. Hey. That was a woman who shot those kids. Is that really the? Is that really the win? No, that was a woman. It wasn't a man who shot those kids. It was a girl. We win. Well, what'd you win, asshole? What'd you win? Seriously. You have no idea what a girl actually feels like. That is always my question to him, Faithless. Like, I feel like XYZ. Like, what's that feel like? Now, there's certain universal truths that we talk about, but they're okay. I don't want to say universal. There's general truths we talk about, right? Like there are certain things as a man, you're supposed to do. We do experience things different. Our anger is a more prevalent emotion for us men, where women it's more sadness and frustration that they go to, where we go to anger, right? But the whole no, I feel like a man. How you don't know what a man feels like. I feel like a woman. You don't know what a woman feels like. You know why? Because all men and women don't feel the same. It's impossible to quantify it without excluding a shit ton of people who fall in the category scientifically. Like, technically, Hassan is a man. Technically, Hunter Avalon is a man. Are they in the same category as, I don't know, me? No. And if you tried to quantify it, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some trans men out there who are more masculine than them, but that's why we don't base it on feelings. We base it on biology. The party of science. But yeah, I just didn't see a whole lot today that caught my interest. I saw stupid shit like this again. And I I don't know. It's not that I'm tired of this. It's that I'm tired of people refusing to have the real conversations about it. Because you have two kinds of conversations. Like, take the trans argument, right? There's two types of people. You have those of us who are like, no, science matters. And then on the other side, you have I'm not listening to you no matter what you say. You can't prove to me that I'm wrong no matter what kind of proof you have. And you can't have a conversation that way. And for some reason, the people who are refusing to have the conversation, the people who are refusing to look at facts, those are the ones that get held up as what we're supposed to follow. This, you guys ever see Band of Brothers? How many of y'all watch that? And at the beginning, in the first episode where Sobel gets lost, you have two very different people. You have at the time Lieutenant Winters, and he leads his men very well. And on the other side, you have Sobel, who is just the leader because he's ranked up enough, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow. In the modern world, you should follow Sobel, because even though he doesn't know where he's going, he feels like a good leader. Are you going to follow the guy who can't read a map, or the guy that got his people there early because he reads a map that well? Probably shouldn't use map when we're talking about trans people, huh? All right. I wasn't calling him maps. Let's move past. We celebrate, and by we I mean our societies. We celebrate stupidity. Like, people like, they have a right to be here. What right? They want to be. They have a rough life where they are. There's tons of people with rough lives around the world. Yeah, around the country too, but around the world. We're supposed to take all of them? Everybody who has a bad life somewhere else deserves to come to my country and fuck this one up? These people, they don't come here to assimilate. It would be one thing if they did. I still don't think they should come here illegally, and they should be kicked out if they do. But they don't even want to assimilate. Do you remember when ICE was in LA and they had to send the National Guard down to protect the ICE places? What did we see in the streets? There was like one American flag in the entire grouping. All of the other ones were Mexican. I shouldn't have done the show today. They were Mexican flags, or there was even an El Salvadorian flag. Because they're not here to be Americans. They're here to be El Salvadorian or Nicaraguan or even Mexican in the United States. It's the same thing. Like I brought up the Somalis earlier. Look at Minneapolis and Dearborn, Michigan, and look at the assimilation. They're not assimilating. They're not embracing American culture. I mean, sure, Ilhan Omar eventually fucked a Jew, which is kind of a political tradition, but otherwise, they're still hanging on to their beliefs and their upbringing from over there. We saw them say, "Don't burn the American flag." Who said don't? Which one said don't burn the American flag? I saw many try to burn the American flags, not realizing that most cloth in America these days is flame retardant, which is kind of funny, really. It is. I mean, I get why they do it with flags, because people try to burn them. But isn't it funny that how many major fires have started because flags have accidentally caught on fire? They're like, make sure it's flame retardant. You saw protesters say, "Don't burn the American flag." I feel like I'm missing something there. Oh, they were telling him not to for the optics. Okay, I don't remember seeing that. I remember seeing them trying to burn the American flag. At least two different places that we watched that. They want their free shit to send back home. Yeah, and every group that is, I mean, there's like a little Italy in most cities, and there's like a Chinatown in most cities. But even within those, they're not trying to change the rest of the world, and their kids eventually assimilate and become more Americanized. But that's not what the illegals are doing. They're not here. And in fairness, over there in England and all of the EU, with your basic open, I don't understand the open borders of the EU. I really don't. We have that in the United States. Like, you can travel between Tennessee and what's a state close to Tennessee? Kentucky? I don't know. You know what? Let me do states I know. You can go from Virginia to North Carolina and you don't get stopped at the border or anything. But we're one country. And you guys are like, hey, we're a whole bunch of countries. None of our borders matter. Country, I don't give a shit, but it seems like a exception. Um, After a few days of them burning the flag, word got out of them that it looked really bad and was costing them support. Yeah, make that part. I believe you guys that happened. I just don't. I didn't see it. I believe you. I just didn't see it. And then they were burning flags again. So I don't know. I don't know. Like if you want to burn my flag, get out. Just get out. It's free speech, monkey. It is. And my free speech is telling me to tell you to get the fuck out. You hate it so much. You're so offended by it. You're burning it in effigy. The country. That's what you're doing when you're burning a flag. You're burning the country in effigy. And if you hate the country that much, get out. And I wanted to talk about this because of the Trump EO, which again did not actually ban flag burning, but burning a flag is not free speech. You can say it's free expression, but okay, all right, let's talk about that for just a minute. Let's say you, and I mean you personally, whoever's listening to this right, burn an American flag. It's 5 o'clock. Starlink's fucking up. Anyway, I know some of you say I would never burn a flag. That's fine. Don't burn a flag. But everybody else, if you were going to burn a flag, why would you do it? And for the people who would answer they would burn a flag, not everybody. There's going to be 10 different answers. There's going to be 100 different answers. Like, I'm burning it because of the support of Israel, or I'm burning it because of the support of the Palestinians. I'm burning it because of rich people being in charge. I'm doing it because of taxes being too high. The expression there is nothing. It shouldn't count as speech. Monkey, are you saying you should go to jail for burning a flag? I'm just saying it shouldn't be constitutionally protected. And if California wants to make it legal to burn the American flag and Ohio doesn't, then that's how it should be. That's all. Because there's no specific speech there. It's just you can literally have two different groups burn the flag for opposing reasons. And under Supreme Court rule, both would be justified as free speech. But you don't know the speech unless you're talking to the people. Talking in speech? Weird. Talking to the people involved. It's the other stuff going on. Now, let's be honest. The reason they burn the American flag, it's not even because they hate America. Some of them do. But that's not the reason to do it. They do it to be provocative. They do it to enrage. Look, grr, get mad, grr. Like, so you burn something you bought at Walmart. I give a fuck. Now, personally, I don't think burning a flag should be illegal. I think it should fall under the 10th Amendment. Everybody always goes for the first 6 amendments. Most people don't pay, well, except for the third, because we don't really need that. But not anymore. We used to, but we don't anymore. But everybody goes to the first, the second, the fourth, fifth, sixth. Those are the big ones. And the 10th is always given no quarter, really. Nobody pays it. The 10th Amendment is one of the most important amendments. It says that the rights not given to the government go to the states or the people. It actually says the rights not, what is it? The power is not given to the federal government or prohibited thereof go to the states or the people respectively. I forget the exact wording, but I'm very, very close on that. And it's the most important one. So if the federal government has no business involved in it, then they have no business involved in it. And we have a document that tells us what they should be involved in. So when it comes to something like flag burning, yeah, that's actually not something they're supposed to be involved in, and it should be a state issue. And if one state wants to make it illegal and the other one wants to make it legal, there you go. If you want to burn a flag, cross the border. But it's not a free speech issue. This isn't satire. This isn't a comedy troupe. This isn't a well-crafted, witty column in a newspaper. Some asshole burning something. It's arson. Like, no, it's free speech. It's not. It's not. Knock it off with that nonsense. But if you are going to burn my flag, get the fuck out. You hate my country so much you're willing to burn the symbol of it. Get the fuck out. Go to that better place. Go to England. Go to England. Go over there and hang out in London. No, you know what? Go to Paris. Go to Paris. That's where you'll really be the most enlightened you can be. Oh man. I don't have a high opinion of Europe to begin with. No offense, guys. But you guys had so many chances to do what we did before us, and so many chances to do what we did after us. And your answer has always been, here's a little bit of freedom. Here's a little bit. Things going on now don't help. It really doesn't help my opinion, y'all. Again, I have English friends and Australian friends. You guys are great people, but you're outnumbered by the idiots, just like we are. I mean, again, the only thing that's kept us as good off as we are, I guess is how I want to say that, is the fact that we get to talk back to our government. We do have protections where they're, hang on, let's switch kitties real quick. There we go. We do have some protections, and our court does uphold a lot of that. Our lower courts are shit right now. Although I do have to say, this is probably going to piss some people off, but my interest in this is legal. My interest in this is constitutional. And constitutionally, the judge that came down the other day and said, yesterday, and said that Trump's tariffs are illegal was right. What's up, Jack? How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing. How you doing?
I am in 9 layers of hell right now, but otherwise well.
Oh, physically, emotionally,
physically, I'm dead. Emotionally, I'm so happy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so there was a judge, was it the appellate division that came down and said that Trump can't use emergency powers to institute tariffs?
Yes.
Constitutionally, they're right. Constitutionally, those pussies in Congress should be doing this. But Congress has this wonderful way of pushing off their responsibilities onto everyone else. And then when the president takes advantage of that, they're like, you can't do this. You can't. How dare they? Especially in the modern age, the president really doesn't need emergency powers. This isn't 1776 or 1781, to be more correct. But it doesn't take a congressman 2 weeks to travel to the Capitol. They can all get there within hours, Jack. So technically, emergency powers should last a couple of hours at most. But those pussies in Congress know that if they push any hard decisions off and be like, no, we have the War Powers Act, so we don't have to get our hands dirty. And then when like with Bush, they gave him the power to go to war. Let him decide. And he decided to go to war. And what did every fucking Democrat come out and do? And many Republicans after the fact. Like, oh, we didn't know he was going to do that. Like, you thought he was asking for war powers so he could not go to war? Are you retarded? But they're not retarded, Jack. They know that this way they don't have to put their name on it.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton knew voting to give Bush the power to go to war meant that if the war turned out to be unpopular, she could go, I didn't know he was going to do it. And Americans put up with it. We put up with this shit all the time. Congress has a lower approval rating than dog shit. And the same people keep getting elected over and over and over. And then folks are like, what we need is term limits. Okay, you're just going to get a different flavor of dog shit because none of you guys are voting with your fucking brains. Hashtag not all. But the approval rating of our Congress, Jack, we should have Congress flipping every 2 years. There should be a brand new face in almost every seat every 2 years. But it's the same assholes over and over and over again because everybody's like, no, I hate Congress because of that asshole over there, not my asshole. And it's amazing. It's amazing to watch because it's like, you guys can't be this dumb, can you?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Unfortunately, not anymore, but I get what you mean. Yeah, so when it comes to these protests around the world and stuff, look, I really do wish you guys well. I hope you guys get people in charge of your countries who actually care about your country. But the reality is, the feminist mindset has taken over, and feelings matter way more than facts. That's just how it is. You happen to see Sugar Tit's latest video?
No.
She's got one. It's is it
Feminism one?
Yeah, are feminists delusional or whoops, I forgot. Sorry guys, let me give you a kitty back. I changed my wrong screen there. Are feminists self-aware? That was the and I wish I tried to find the full video of the chick that she watches here. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't look that hard. I probably could have reached out to her and asked her, "Hey, can you give me a link to that video?" But this is what you're dealing with when it comes to feminists.
Late stage capitalism and toxic masculinity.
Conservative men have no idea who women really are.
Oh, conservative men have no idea who women really are. And who are you? Are you the spokeswoman of all twat on the earth? The great...
I fucking love Sugar Tits. If you guys don't watch Sugar Tits, you really should.
Yeah,
Let me drop the link in the chat for this video. I actually was thinking about Sugar Tits and Miss Undoomed and Lady Monkey yesterday on our drive down to my uncle's anniversary party because I was playing out conversations in my head, which I do all the time. And I caught myself in my head calling my wife Lady Monkey. And that made my brain go, okay, so I have Lady Monkey and Undoomed has Mrs. Undoomed and Bering has Sugar Tits. I was like, that is so Australian. For the other two of us, it's a play on our own names. And they're like, no, Sugar Tits. And I think it's awesome. Anyway, we're actually not here for Sugar Tits. I love her commentary, but I don't want to be stealing her video. I'm here for the other chick.
Certainly not by bitching like you do.
For the past few months, we've all seen the videos of men testing the waters with, maybe women shouldn't be able to vote. Maybe we should have a policy that requires all women to have at least one child.
Who the fuck is trying to enforce a law that's saying women must have a child? Is that a...
Yeah, I don't know about anybody enforcing a law, but I have seen people suggest women need to have kids. And I'm actually, okay, how do I put this? I think it would be a good idea for women to have kids because I think it mellows them out.
Yeah, but couldn't we say that you should have children without giving them the right to vote?
You could, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, see, this lady's dumb. Why would we want them to have both?
Thing. I can troll through TikTok and find a shitload of women who shouldn't be having kids.
Those
Amen.
men don't believe those
Preach.
things are actually possible. It's a bluff, which isn't to say that they wouldn't.
It's not a bluff.
It's
It's a way.
not a bluff.
It's a way to fuck with people like you.
Yeah, plus history. Historically, for thousands of years, we told women to shut the fuck up.
Mhm.
You really don't want to go back to that, do you? By listening to ladies like this, like Sugar Tits is cool, so she can vote, but this lady, she's canceling out somebody's vote.
Look, I believe women should be allowed to vote, and it just shouldn't count. I just love that this woman. We got to get to the next part. Hang on.
Choose to do those things if they could, but they know that they can't. They're saying them because they still believe in the version of women that patriarchy has sold them, the version where we are fearful and timid and meek and naturally submissive and compliant.
So they think that if they keep turning.
Well, you are.
I believe that's called biology.
This is one of those things I'm going to give Andrew Wilson some credit on, which I never do. I've seen him have the argument with feminists all the time about force doctrine. And these feminists will come up there and like, men could not rule the world. And Andrew's like, if it came down to it, could men force women into anything, really? Could we force you back into the kitchen? Could we? And the women are all like, no. And he's like, but we're stronger than you. If it came down to physical force, we would absolutely destroy you. You owe all of your rights to men not being that way.
Yeah.
Because we absolutely have the ability to. And every one of these women like, no, we're just as strong as you.
Yeah,
Sure.
their arguments fall apart as soon as violence is applied.
Yes. Because
it's funny. I've watched those clips and they always talk about like, well, what about weapons? Bitch, who do you think knows how to already use the weapons, has the weapons? That's the stupidest fucking argument I've ever heard.
It comes down to the same thing. Can women use weapons? Yes. Are men better at using weapons? Absolutely. I brought this up so many times, but it applies here again. That one story where they were, I want to say it was CNN. Don't quote me on that, though. It was a story about women in the military. And they actually presented this as a good thing. Like, when men need to move an ammo box, they just lift it up and carry it themselves. But when women do it, they do it as a team. And they presented that as a good thing. Like, well, that's great unless one of the team gets shot.
You and your hate facts.
It's great that they work as a team until one of them dies in battle. You're talking about carrying ammo boxes, not restocking the Avon, for fuck's sake. Is Avon still a thing?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. I honestly don't know. But can women do things that men do? Yeah, sure. And oftentimes it takes more than one of them to do it, which is great until you don't have access to that second woman to help you out anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm all for women learning self-defense and stuff, but if it came down to it, men and women in a firefight, my money's on men, even if you gave the women the better weapons.
Oh, yeah.
We have better hand-eye coordination than they do. Why do you think men are better at video games? It's not just because video games are marketed to men. It's because we have better hand-eye coordination. And if you're talking to me in a video game, that doesn't matter. In a real-life firefight, it does. And I'm not saying that men should go out there and shoot women, because that's where this always goes. Oh, you think men should beat women? No. I'm saying you women need to understand any power you have, lady. Where she's like, hey, the old version where we're meek and fearful. I bet I could make you cry with just my words. I'm positive I could make this woman cry with just my words. And I could say something to her that will affect her for the rest of her natural life.
Well, she's kind of fat.
Just look at her and go, why is your nose so high above your lips? And that will bother her for the rest of her life. Every time she looked in the mirror, she'd cry a little bit.
Why aren't you as pretty or talented like your sister?
No, you have to give something specific. That's why I like, because she actually does have a very high or very big upper lip area.
That's true.
Trust me, I'm a genius at finding people's weak points. I'm a nice
I'm really
guy,
good at making women cry. Monkey 2025.
Not just women, I can do it to men too, because everybody's a little insecure. But men are better at pushing that down and getting on with their lives. But no, it's just this version of women that have been sold to you by the patriarchy. I noticed that she's very bold in her stance, behind her camera, not saying it to a man, not putting herself in any position where somebody can fight back and, make her cry because of her ridiculously large upper lip.
And square jaw.
I'm just saying, if she grew a mustache, it would make like the Duck Dynasty guys go, God damn.
Yeah, well, she probably has to shave it pretty regular.
Why are your nostrils so big? My older brother had incredibly large nostrils. I used to make fun of him, tell him to stop picking his nose with his thumb because he was stretching it out. And he go, I don't pick my nose with my thumb. Like, it looks like you do. I'm a bastard, y'all. Anyway.
Going right for the jugular.
Yeah, I don't play. We want to jump ahead. I think it's this part.
And they make their like dying old and cat lady jokes, thinking that that's going to be the thing that makes us run back to them.
They don't know any version of us. They're not scared little girls. The characters in the movies, they're always turning to the man and saying, what should we do? They just haven't paid attention to us. They haven't watched the media that we have made. They haven't read the books that we have.
Sugar Tits sped this up. That's not me doing this, just for the record.
Written. They haven't listened to the music that we create. They haven't followed female content.
We don't know them because we don't listen to the music they create. I've listened to girl music. It's not good. That's why I don't listen to girl music.
I mean, there's only so much that crap normal people could take.
They're good singers. But what she's talking about is like your lesbian bands. They come out with their Birkenstocks and one of them has a tambourine, even though it's not the 60s anymore.
Oh, yeah. Like Indigo Girls.
Yeah, they got their armpit hair braided and it's longer than the hair on their head, which is shaved on one side.
Yeah. Yeah. Lilith Fair.
Yeah.
Media that we have made. They haven't read the books that we have written. They haven't listened to the music that we create. They haven't followed female content creators because they don't perceive us as being capable of leadership. So they're stunned right now because
You're not capable of leadership.
She's got crazy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
our behavior isn't aligning with their version
of what a woman is, because they haven't yet realized that we are stronger than them.
Technically.
That's the part I wanted to get to. They haven't realized that we're stronger than them. I really want to talk to this lady about her upper lip because I promise you I can make her cry. There's not a part of me, including my crippledness, that you can make fun of me about that'll make me cry. And you know what? You know what men don't have to do? I realize Andrew Tate is a anomaly here, but men don't have to come out and talk about being leaders. They just go out and lead. That's how you know the bitches from the real men, like Andrew Tate. Like, no, I'm the leader of men. Oh, you're such a woman, Andrew. You haven't realized we're stronger than you. In what regard? Honestly. You're more emotionally fragile. I saw a great video earlier today. Maybe it was on Sugar Tits video. Let me see. Is this? I think it's in here actually. Where this lady is talking about how emotionally fragile men are, and she's yelling at the dude. Yeah, this one. Hang on. This is amazing.
Yes, and abuse women. Excuse me, I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm loud. That's not emotional. That's
Okay, honey, calm down. I'm angry and I'm loud. That's
Okay, honey, calm down. I'm angry and I'm loud. That's not emotional. Okay, honey, calm down. 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 loud. That's not emotional.
Says the emotional basket case.
This emotion that I'm talking about isn't emotional. Yeah, she's just screaming at this man because he's got his Donald Trump hat on and yells that men are emotional. I'm not emotional. I'm just screaming about anger. Mr. D. Ball Money, thank you. Lilith Fair was the other Bush tour in the 90s. Yes, indeed. Oh, man. Jack, you see this tiny little woman there with all her anger?
Yep.
Do you think even as skinny as that dude is in front of her, if he punched her in the face, is she taking it well?
Oh, no. She's going down.
But look at how, if a man squared up to another man the way she's acting like that, other men would be like, you should punch him. I'd hit that fucker. You know what I mean? But since it's a woman, oh, you can't hit her. And don't hit women. But women have gotten this false sense of power because men won't use their power against them.
Yeah, they're abusing the privilege of having a pussy pass.
Yeah.
Because for so many generations, we have taught men it's not a good thing to hit women because they are weaker than us.
Yep. And they love to tell us how strong they are, though. We're just as strong as you are. Then why can't I hit you? Why is it worse for me to punch you than your husband? Not your husband punching me, than me punching him.
Yeah, equality.
And there's a reason for that. It's because women are weaker than men. And that's not a mean thing to say.
Yeah, but they want all the benefits of equality without the actual equality.
It's not mean to say that Joe Rogan could kick my ass. He's bigger than me, in shape, and not crippled. That's just a fact of life. But when it comes to women, if you point out that men are stronger than them, generally speaking, that, oh my God, why are you saying mean things about women? I'm not. It's just factual. And we wouldn't have to have this conversation if you weren't out there beating your chest about how strong you are. That's another thing that these strong women always have to do. They have to tell you how strong they are. Why? Jack, I don't have to have a man tell me how strong he is. I size him up when I look at him. And unless it's like a strongest man in the world competition, which I haven't watched in a long time, although those are cool to watch. I miss watching those where they like flip the big tires and shit and carry stuff no man would ever need to carry.
Yeah.
Like, look how strong I am. Like, your nipples are oddly muscular. I don't think muscles are supposed to grow on your nipples. But when it comes to women, if you suggest that they are weaker, which they are, it's an affront. And they no, I'm strong and powerful. You guys have this old concept of women because you don't read our books that tell you how strong we are. Yeah. My bad. I was out here lifting shit while you were reading books about how strong you are. I do love that, though. They don't know us because they don't listen to our music or read our books. Well, when we do, we make fun of them and you guys cry because you're so strong.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Is that me?
What?
Oh, it's 5 a.m. and my internet has been touchy and you cut out there for me for a second. So I just assumed it was me.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. Back to our kitty cat. Because look, Jack, I have no specific topic. This is just, I just watched Sugar Tits video right before this and I was laughing at the feminists in it.
The delusion, man. They're so delusional.
Yeah, but it is what is predominant in our society. We're supposed to say, yes, women are strong. Why would I say that? I don't know.
They also think that penises are women, so there's a lot
that
of
is fair.
going.
Yeah, I was telling the audience earlier, one of the funniest things that came out of the shooting, and that's such a weird phrase to say, the reaction to the shooting was them going, Most shooters are white males. Tradition continues.
Yeah.
They thought that was a winning argument, to defend that was still a white man.
You monster.
Woman hater. Hey, Nuts, how you doing? I'm not a woman hater. I love women. I think women have many things they do better than men. I just don't think strength is one of them. Yeah, at one point that the lady that we watched first, I think she's the one, goes into men's mental health issues. We do have a higher suicide rate, Jack. And while we need to get that down, the whole male mental health crisis is a little overplayed. Most men go through their lives fine. That's just, and by an overwhelming majority, Jack. And I have a theory that it's mostly them trying to turn us into women that break men. But the reality is, yeah, we have a bigger problem with it, but it's not the problem. They take this suicide statistic and they're like, look, this shows all men are broken. No, it shows those men were broken. If only they'd talked about their feelings. There's no proof that would have saved them. Because when you get to that point, Jack, it's hard to bring somebody back. And half the time it's not even that something happened. They're just broken people to begin with.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience with this? More than I want. Women. Fucking women, man. I was surrounded by women today, though, Jack. Turns out, even though my dad had 6 brothers, the family has produced a lot of girls since then. And I was thinking about this with my generation, because my dad had 7 brothers, 7 boys in the family, 6 brothers. I had 2 brothers. I have a couple of foster sisters, but blood relatives, I have 2 brothers. Had one of them died. And then my generation, I had a girl and 2 boys. And my children's generation, they produced all girls. I blame fluoride in the tap water.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Fluoride in the tap water has turned all the little kids girls. It was amazing how much estrogen was in that room today with all those people. One of my uncles,
so they don't all sync up.
One of my uncles, who I've known my entire life, reminded me who he was today. His name's not Steve, but I'm gonna call him Steve. He went over and gave him a hug, and he goes, "I'm Steve, in case you forgot." And he wasn't joking. I was like, I'm my back hurts. I'm not retarded.
Well, I mean, you are getting on in the years.
It was amazing, man. I get treated like a rock star when I go to my family gatherings. And that's not me bragging. It's true, because I don't go to a lot of them these days because of pain. So when I do show up, they all act like Jesus is walking on water in front of them. And they give me the saddest hugs ever because everybody's afraid of hurting me. And I'm like, oh, guys, I'm not dying. I'm just in a little bit of pain. It's fine. I made my aunt cry just by being there.
Wow, that was mean.
She's like, I didn't think you would be able to come. And it was the one who's celebrating their anniversary. Which, by the way, I would not have missed this for the world. My aunt and uncle, who had their 50th wedding anniversary, I realized this too. Their 50th wedding anniversary, I was born 50 years ago. Coincidence? No. They're the only, on that side of the family, the only ones who've never been divorced. You're welcome. You're welcome. but they were also the witnesses at my wedding. And I've always seen that as a positive sign for my marriage, is that my aunt and uncle who witnessed our wedding for us are the ones who never got divorced. You didn't think I wanted one of those losers doing it, do you? And there were some close, but like, no, I don't want the losers. Get the ones who've never been divorced. My one uncle married 3 different women named Sharon.
Well, you don't have to remember names then.
He also died alone. Maybe you should have caught on after Sharon number 2 is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's kind of dark, monkey.
It's true though. It's absolutely true. Why is that dark? I didn't marry the bitch.
Well, he tried and tried and still died alone.
He did.
Ugh.
Sharon. Yeah. Don't marry a girl named Sharon. They're bad, apparently. Are there any Sharons in the audience? Sorry about that. Get a cat, because don't ruin any more men.
My uncle married a woman named Sharon, and she drained him financially.
See?
And then she died.
Did he have a tattoo he couldn't cover? That would make sense, right? No. He that uncle was kind of weird. Of my father's 6 siblings and him, 2 of them went into the military. And oddly enough, they're both the ones that are dead now. I wonder if there's a coincidence there. I'm going to sue the government.
Huh.
For killing my family. But my dad's older brother, that's the one who passed. He was actually in Nam. He was over there for quite a while. And he was one of those guys who came back different than he went over there.
Yeah. A lot of guys did that.
Yep. So he was strange. He was a really nice guy, really sweet guy, but just a little strange. Not don't let your children near him strange. Just, did he get hit in the head?
Yeah,
Kind of strange.
No loud noises around him, kind of strange.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that one. I have a couple of pictures of Phoebe with her tongue out, and they're my favorite ones. Did your cat fall asleep with something in his mouth? That's an interesting pic.
Looks like a pretzel.
Kind of does. Or like a sausage.
Sausages. I got sausages for Rico one time.
Mm-hmm.
The dog had the most disgusting diarrhea ever.
Oh,
fuck, man.
If you don't feed your dog like weird shit all the time, you can't just spring a new food on them, because it'll tear up their insides.
He had a very sensitive tummy.
Our dog Caesar, I fed him all kinds of shit, but occasionally he would eat something he'd never had before, and it would just tear him up. His favorite food was pizza, and not pizza. He liked pizza crust. It was his favorite thing. Like the dog liked bread. Okay, it worked out well because I don't eat pizza crust. I throw that shit away, even if it's got cheese in it, because that cheese in stuffed crust pizza is not real cheese. That's like below government cheese, and I don't know why people act like it's good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like stuffed crust.
No, it's gross. If you put real cheese in there, then maybe we'd talk.
Yeah, but it's some sort of illusion, like pretend cheese. Plus, your fingers have been manhandling it for like 2 minutes. So,
yeah, I don't need your white rope in my dough. Thank you.
That is a euphemism for you.
My first dog, Bailey, loved cheese cubes and sauerkraut. Farted a lot too. You fed him sauerkraut and he was farting a lot? I'm shocked.
Cheese and sauerkraut. Yeah, both things that'll make you fart.
There's a reason the entire country of Germany smells like that.
The French are nearby and it drifts up.
You're both wrong. That's the first. What are we wrong about? Brian, what are we wrong about? We're right about everything around here.
Just ask us.
I'm happy to tell you. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I woke up at 3:30 this morning, Jack, and I really, really, really wanted to go back to sleep. But I couldn't stay in bed anymore. I envy my granddaughter because when it was time to go to bed, it's like, okay, time to go to bed. She just rolls over and passes out. I'm not even that fast. Lady Monkey gets mad at me because when I'm ready for bed, I roll over and I go to sleep. But it usually takes me about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That girl was out instantly.
Yeah, no matter how tired I am, I can't get to sleep that quick.
Oh, stuffed crust. Stuffed crust is gross, man. Look, if you like it, that's fine, but that is not cheese, and you're going to get ball cancer from it.
Well, I don't know how accurate that is, but you're definitely getting something.
Ball cancer is caused by stuffed crust. I'm 100% positive. That's scientific fact.
I don't think you can call that scientific fact. But I would say it's a hypothesis.
Everybody who's ever had ball cancer has lived in a world where cheese crust pizza eventually existed. Therefore, ball cancer is caused by stuffed crust pizza.
I mean, I don't have any scientific studies to contradict that, so I'm kind of at an impasse here.
Remember, Monkey likes canned cheese. Yes, I do, and I'm unashamedly love canned cheese.
That's just disgusting.
That stuff's great.
Oh man.
I was watching Frosted Glasses stream last night, and I was asleep by the last article.
Ouch! We were hilarious. What are you talking about?
That doesn't mean you weren't hilarious, unless you're saying I'm not hilarious because people fall asleep to me. How dare you, sir?
No, people are lulled into sleep by you. You do that on purpose.
Sorry, I was looking at kitty pictures. Oh, this one is so adorable. Look at the little kitty. It's missing an eye. Poor baby.
Look at the adorable.
I wanted to talk. Where did that go? This is one. It made me laugh, and several people did not catch on to the joke, and so I need to highlight it. Plus, I want to talk about the overall theory that goes along with it. So this dude posted this on Twitter. Says, I feel the porn is the same as heroin is going to become the right-wing version of anthropogenic AP or ACW, anthropomorphic climate change. It's actually AGW because it's global warming, not climate change. But they spelled heroin with an E. Porn is going to become the heroin, or porn is the same as heroin, and they spelled it with an E.
Oh, it's a hero.
A female hero. I'm like, well, I mean, kind of. It depends on how lonely you are. But are there really people out there claiming that porn is the same as heroin? Because if so, I can only guess you've never done heroin. Not that I have. I've known people who have. I've never seen anybody who's like, I will suck your dick for some porn.
Maybe in porn, but not
in porn. Yeah. I get the whole push against porn. It's largely overblown. No pun intended on that one. But if you're just a dude out there and once in a while you're like, I want to choke a chicken, it's not going to hurt you to toss on some porn and watch it. Now, if you're sitting there and studying it and it's your whole life and you're turning, I know a woman who divorced her husband because he kept turning down sex with her to watch porn.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, guys. You can go do the nasty. I I could be in the middle of watching porn. If Lady Mug's like, "You want to do it?" Like, "Yep." This doesn't. I don't need this at all.
I'm just pre-gaming, ready
Yeah.
to go. Maybe
There's
she wasn't very good at sex.
maybe I don't know. And that dude got fucked because she ended up getting a really good job for a major box store, and she's quite wealthy now. Like, hope that porn was worth it, homie. Michael, thank you. Is it 100% bad for you? It is 100% bad for you and reduces the size of your brain, specifically the area that controls inhibition. Heroin, though? I disagree on the notion of it being bad for you. Too much of it, sure, where it becomes an obsession. But I would say that about anything.
Yeah, too much of anything becomes a problem.
Anything that becomes your obsession is a problem. But a lot of this comes from our puritanical roots of like naked people, bad. And is there too much access to it now, Jack? Probably. Is that what's destroying marriage or life or meant? No, that's nonsense. We like looking at naked. Nobody's ever been like, hey, those guys watching mating things on the Animal Channel, that's destroying their brains. And we do know people like Cenk touch themselves to that. Allegedly in Minecraft. But to compare it to things like actual hard drug use, and the way they do this is like it stimulates the same parts of your brain. It releases
Is that him or me? That's probably him.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
They justify this nonsense because they're like it triggers the same areas of your brain. Lots of stuff triggers those areas of your brain. It releases serotonin. Lots of stuff releases serotonin.
I would like to know who this Sarah Tonin is and what she's doing being held hostage.
If there is not a exercise channel out there by a woman called Sarah Tonin, there's $1 million idea for you ladies if you're in decent shape. Being addicted to heroin, though, there's no comparison to any when it comes to porn and drug use. It's nonsensical. Now, again, if you're talking about just addiction, yeah, and that's addiction, whether it's heroin or spending all of your money on collectibles in a video game. Dark Side Phil.
he only spent like 30 grand. Come on, dude.
Yeah. And if they do the brain scans and stuff, it's the same centers. It's the pleasure centers of the brain, and overstimulating those in any way is going to be an issue. Free serotonin, indeed. Free her.
With your wiener. Free her with your wiener.
Thought Cenk Uygur was into horse porn. No. Actually, I know one of the stories was about a dog. Was the other one about a horse? I think that's how it broke down. The first story where Cenk comes out, because remember, this happened twice. This wasn't just once.
Yeah.
The first one was a couple, and they were involved with their doggy. And I believe the second one was a man who was involved with a horse. And in the first one, Cenk's like, nobody got hurt. I don't see the problem. And it was the second one with the horse where he said the infamous, if you're doing it for their pleasure, it should be okay. So, no, he's not just restricted to horses. That's my point.
It's messed up.
I like a female hero, but I'm not addicted to them. As dumb as the argument that porn is the same as heroin is, that him adding the E, misspelling heroin, just made me laugh. I thought that was amazing. Because, I mean, there's a Wonder Woman out there that you shouldn't let kids see. Just saying.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've seen screenshots of it.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut over here quietly.
I'm watching a CBL at work, computer-based learning. Now about inclusion and belonging. I should let Scribe hear this. I don't think we're ever getting away from the inclusion stuff, even with DEI dying. You know, they just rebrand it. They just stopped calling it DEI. They dropped the diversity. They still want the equity and inclusion shit.
Yeah.
I'm not against the idea of inclusion, Jack. I just think it should be merit-based, and that's it. Your color and your sex shouldn't play into it. But this is why they changed to equity instead of equality, because they got tired of hearing with the actual definition of equality. And they're like, no, I need to be equitable with you. Well, good luck, because I don't think you'd like life as a man. Where if your spouse hits you, the first question from everybody is, well, what'd you do? They don't do that with men and women in the other way. Like, if a man punches a woman, they're like, well, what'd she do?
It's what she did do. Oh.
But if a man is hit by a woman, everybody, what'd he do? He got hit by a woman, you shitbag. It's always our fault. It doesn't matter what happens. Well, what'd he do? He deserved that. He didn't even burn dinner. She's just a violent shithead.
Yeah.
Saw a thing the other day, made me laugh so hard. It was a while ago, and I should have brought it up at the time. This woman put out a tweet that said, most domestic violence is men hitting women. And like 99% of the comments were like, as long as you exclude lesbians. And they got mad. They're like, stop saying that. Like, well, then stop beating women. What do you say to a woman with two black eyes? Nothing, you done told her twice. If we ever become famous, that me retelling that joke is going to get us canceled, Jack.
Oh, there's so much worse shit we could get canceled for.
No shit. If we ever get famous, we're screwed.
Nah, we're just gonna have to play it up like we're the new Lenny Bruce.
Joy Reid posted a video saying she was DEI, like she was a DEI hire, or that she supports DEI, because she was absolutely a DEI hire. All of MSNBC is. Everybody on MSNBC is either female, multiracial, or gay.
Or some combination thereof.
Or some combination, yes. Lesbians are the per capita of domestic abuse. That's true. They absolutely are. They are violent to each other. But do you know why? I don't actually believe that is true. I think just women in general are. But when a woman hits a man, women hit men all the time playfully. I'm using air quotes, playfully. If every one of those got counted as domestic violence, women, hands down, would be the winners of the domestic abuse thing. But when it's man and woman, nobody counts it that way. Like, no, she couldn't hurt him. I mean, we actually had that conversation on Lords of the Night once. And it's true. A man punching a woman is much more devastating than punching a man. Physically. Yeah. So when it's a male-female relationship and the woman hits the man, it's like, it's no big deal. When it's two women, you don't have that anymore. So it gets counted, because then it's just violence, because one of them isn't, okay, I was going to say one of them isn't noticeably stronger, but let's be honest about lesbian relationships, okay? In heroin, see what I did there? In heroin, always two pretty, thin, beautiful women who are like, let's just try this. In reality, it's usually
Beefcake.
yeah, it's usually women and some tiny woman who eventually grows to be the same size.
Yeah, one of them ends up being much more masculine, taking the more masculine role. The butch, if you will.
They're big old bull dykes.
Yeah.
And the other one is this mousy little chick who probably had a fight with her boyfriend. And she's like, I'll try women. And the next thing you know, she's, lumberjacking too. I'm only laughing because I'm not playing. I've seen that so many times.
Oh, yeah.
You never see the two. It's actually funny. I've never seen a lesbian wedding, like when they, lesbians put up their stuff. It's never two brides. One of them always dresses like a man, and half the time, both of them do.
Yep. And I like when the more butch one is basically a walking stereotype of men.
Yes.
And they end up acting or looking like Joe Dirt more often than not. Like, that's a sweet mullet you got there. Billy Ray would be proud 20 years ago.
Yes. But you don't see that in gay weddings. You don't see one of them wear a bridesmaid or a bride's dress. They both wear suits. But for some reason, when it's lesbians, it's like, no, one of us has to be the man.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of gay weddings and one lesbian wedding, and you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah. When it comes to the lesbian, one of them has to be the man, and more often than not, it's both of them. Even with flamboyantly gay dudes, they still wear suits to their weddings.
Well, they want to look sharp.
I mean, it might have booty shorts as part of the outfit, but
they're breakaway pants for the dance floor. They have sparkly shorts on underneath.
I don't get I want someone attracted to women. I know I'll look like a dude. You have to understand the difference between how men and women pick partners.
Yeah. It's a much more complicated dance of attraction with lesbians.
Yeah, because for them, and this is going to get me in trouble with a lot of it's not so much about liking women, it's about hating men.
Yeah, and part of it is that the tiny girl brain is slightly bigger in lesbians, in my theory.
Yeah.
So they're more masculine and have more masculine traits because there's more room for it then. And they can sometimes do math. So they take up like carpentry and things like that. And flannel, because flannel's awesome. So... I'm sure there's about 5 lesbians out there going, fuck you, Jack.
Right. Look, I'm not saying it's true of all of them, but it is amazing how many lesbians are hardcore feminists and how many of them will tell you how much men suck. And many of them have stories about somebody who touched them inappropriately.
Yeah.
And yeah, so... You all right, Monk? No, but I'll live.
Dangerous made a good point. Lesbian porn does pass the Bechdel test.
True. I hate men's, so I'm attracted to a chick who looks like what I hate. Makes no more sense. It does because, okay, Dangerous, you're a dude, okay? We are visual creatures. This is why we like to have eye candy on our did a lesbian just hit you, Monk? It feels like it. It's why we like our eye candy and stuff like that, where for women it's they'll always talk about the emotional connection. It's not just the idea of men or something that looks like a man that bothers them. It's having a penis and actually being a man. So you're right that it makes no sense because they will go and be with somebody who is worse than the most toxic stereotype of men. But because it's not an actual man, they can put that part of it out of their head and justify getting their ass beat by a woman instead of a dude. We like some eye candy too. You do, but you're not visual like we are. I mean, how do I put this?
Bitches be crazy.
No. Men will see a woman and that they like, how do I don't know how I want to state this. A nasty girl, right? Like she could have like literal boogers on her, and there's going to be some dude out there like, I'm going to fuck that. You guys, as long as she got the right titty size or the right booty, guys will overlook anything because it looks good. Where you ladies, you guys need more of that emotional connection. It's one of the things that the sexual revolution has destroyed in women. When you guys try to act like us, it breaks you because it's not natural. The reason men can go out there and be man whores is because we don't need the emotional connection for the sex. And as much as they try to convince women that they don't, you kind of still do. I got standards. I didn't say all men would do it. If you got a booger on you, we're not humping. But I do know guys who be like, you can just flick that off. I know some guys who have hit some nasty stuff. Let's just put it that way. Nasty stuff. And this is a reality. If you look, because like if you go to Walmart, you'll see nasty people with other nasty people. What you won't see is a drop dead gorgeous chick with a really fat slob. She might go with a fat guy, Jack, but he's rich and he's wearing nice clothes and he keeps himself as maintained as he can.
Yeah, she hoses him off in the yard.
She ain't going to go with the guy who looks like he just came from under the bridge. Now, you will see nice looking dudes out there with chicks who look like they woke up in a dumpster. Because we're like,
dudes will bang the nastiest skankosaurus around.
Yeah. And again, not all, but enough that it's fair to say. Patrice O'Neill talked about that too. He said women typically wouldn't cheat on their good man for Denzel, but guys would cheat on a girl covered in garbage in a dumpster. Yes, he did. That's in his is that Elephant in the Room? It's the one you can watch free. If you guys have never seen that, look up Patrice O'Neill. It's the one he did like 2 years before he died or right before he died. And his family put it out free on YouTube so that his legacy could live on, which is really cool. But yeah, like the way that garbage is glistening off her. Yeah, it's a great bit. I'd forgotten about that. But it's right. It's absolutely right. And do women cheat more than they talk about? Yeah. But so do men. I saw one lady today, I think it was in that Sugar Tits video, where she's like, a man will ruin his life for a boner. Women won't do that. Like, you clearly never watched Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, no shit.
Will more men do it? Yeah. But in fairness, most of those men aren't trying to. That's an Oprah thing. I've talked about this before too, but it's real. That before Oprah comes along, a cheating partner, male or female, didn't necessarily end in divorce. That became an Oprah thing where like, he cheated on her. You have to throw away everything.
You got to drop that zero and get yourself a hero.
Get a hero. And I'm not defending cheating, but it used to be you persevered. And then it became, I can't believe you'd ever do that. I can never trust you again. Which, I mean, that's fair enough, I suppose. But people throwing away, 20-year marriages because one of them screwed around, like, I guess. I mean, sex is that important to you, I suppose. But since it's mostly a female thing that happens to, it's amazing how, like, sex is not the most important, but you better never put your sex in anyone else's. or I will take half your shit and your kids. Suddenly sex becomes very important, Jack.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Oprah is the reason we have such high divorce rates. And anybody who doesn't believe that has not been paying attention. Do I have other kitty cat pictures? Jack, I really have no topic tonight. I tried, but there was hardly anything worth talking about on the internet today.
Yeah, there wasn't much going on today.
I know I had more kitty cat pictures. I just can't find them.
Did you hear Pauly Shore had surgery to remove a tumor?
No, is he okay?
As far as I know, he's recovering.
Good. I like Pauly Shore. I think his one character thing he did is a little overblown, but the guy's actually funny. He comes from funny stock.
Yeah. I think he's a funny guy, but I do hope he makes that Richard Simmons movie, because I'd totally watch that.
Oh, so would I.
Yeah, I think Pauly Shore's a more talented guy than people give him credit for, because he's so convincing as playing the character he always plays.
On the screen is Buddha, and we need to acknowledge Buddha.
God, yeah.
This is Count Dankula's dog that got him into so much trouble, and he was recently put down. He had to be put to sleep. So, R.I.P. you fucking legend.
Hell yeah. That dog is on his way to Valhalla now.
Yeah, he is part of a case, an actual case law in Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah, as crazy as that is. And that dog is responsible for Dankula's career.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he said as much in his post on X about it.
Yeah.
Poor little dog.
What did he say? 13? I think he was 13 years old.
Wow. That's a pretty good run for a little pug.
Yeah. Well, those dogs, I mean, they're not really bred for longevity.
Yeah. They can barely breathe.
I want to put this one. We're not going to watch the video. I'm just going to use a still picture from it. But this is a great little kitten eating out of a bottle, standing up with his claws out.
Yeah. It's so cute.
He's not dead. He fled to Argentina. Thank you, Frosted. Yes.
Somebody posted a meme of the dog saluting Hitler and Hitler saluting the dog.
Nice. That whole story was so fucking stupid. I mean, the reason he did that was because his wife kept talking about how cute the dog was. So he taught it to do the least cute thing he could think of, the most repulsive thing he could think of. And they were like, how dare you call the Nazis repulsive? I guess. I've never understood their logic on that.
I don't either. They just didn't like it. So they were trying to find something to jam him up for. That's all.
He ended up with a fine over that. And one of my favorite parts of that whole story was when he comes out of the court and the one reporter says to him, there's no context where you should ever say "Heil Hitler." And he goes, you just did it.
Yeah.
And the reporter was like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, look, a lot of reporters these days, the irony is lost on them because they're not smart.
Well, they think they can do anything.
Oh, yeah. They're above the law.
Thank you, Michael. That dog with the wave of his paw did more to elect Trump than Fuentes ever has or will. True.
Yeah. Yeah, God rest that little puppy's soul, because he's a good boy, didn't do nothing.
Yeah, and that whole nonsense, man. This is where I really realized how fucked the entirety of Europe is.
Yeah, they have gone down the progressive rabbit hole way deeper than we ever did. They're like the Mad Hatter Tea Party, you know, and the U.S. is Alice. Like, this is weird.
The fact that they prosecuted him for that is insane.
Oh, it's just gotten so much worse since then too. Look, they prosecuted that one lady for silently praying. There's all sorts of goofy shit they keep doing over there. Those people are clowns. It literally has become a madhouse.
Yeah, and to bring this back to where we were at the beginning, we'll wrap this up on this. This is why, even though I'm seeing these protests and stuff, I don't think anything is going to change, because you guys have been overtaken by what we would call progressives here in the U.S. You've been overrun by them, by people who think feeling is way more important than fact, that nuance doesn't exist unless it's on their side.
Yeah.
If one of them, like, this is what Elon did, and they hold their hand up and actually do a Nazi salute, they think that they're the good one.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, Elon didn't do that. You're doing it now. Which one of you is worse? But you have a whole continent dedicated to the idea of stupidity. And look, I really do. I hope the EU comes to its senses. I hope England and Ireland and Scotland and France, Germany, all of these places where you're being overrun by people who have no intention of joining you in Western society. They're not coming there because they just really love Manchester United. They're coming there to take your resources and turn your country into a shithole. And the people,
and rape your girls.
And rape your girls. And the people who are in charge are telling you that you're racist if you don't agree that bringing in a bunch of, oh my God, I saw it. I got it. I was going to wrap there. I do have to talk about this. I wish I'd saved the clip, but I didn't. It's a MSNBC or NBC, one of those two, reporter, maybe it was CNN, I don't care, but talking about how Trump said 13,000 murderers have been brought into this country from illegals. And she said, what he didn't tell you there is that some of those came in under him, and some came in under Obama, and some even came in under Bush.
Why does that matter?
Apparently, it's a big talking point. It's the same reason that Donald Trump said a third of all women coming from south of the border raped on the way, and it's only 30%.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because they can't just go, yeah, Donald Trump's right. We've imported 13,000 murderers into our country. It's got to be like, no. We did, but it was over several presidencies. It doesn't matter how many. It didn't matter if they came in yesterday or over the last 100 years. That's 13,000 people who murdered somebody when they shouldn't have. That's what murder means. Oh, it's so fucking insane. But again, here in the United States, we can call that shit out. I can call that woman a retarded cunt, and it's fine. Nobody's coming to my house to go, did you call her a retarded cunt? Yep, I did. And you guys have boxes on the street corner to turn in flatware or silverware.
Yeah.
And
don't forget the gardening tools.
I wish you guys well. I really do. I wish you success, but I just don't see it coming. Because too many of your countrymen are brainwashed by your media, which is controlled by your government. And until that changes, you guys are fucked. Just saying. Had a bit too much to think. Yeah, it's my problem all the time. There's that page of Red Skull saying exactly that. It's incredibly sad that Red Skull, during his recruitment speech for Hydra, actually made sense. I'm not familiar with the thing, but yeah, that it's Red Skull. That kind of says something, doesn't it? Anyway, Jack, I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna have babies waking up here soon, and
cool.
I need to go pretend I'm not in pain for them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yay! Today's gonna suck, bro.
I imagine, yeah.
We're We got stuff to do with the littles today, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. But God, it's going to suck. Never give up the arms. It's not just the arms. Don't give up the speech, because that's where it all starts. But in fairness, they can't give up the speech because they've never had it. It's one of my favorite arguments I have with people from around the world. We have free speech. You might want to read what your Constitution says. You have free speech unless. Did you see that clip from the guy from the World Economic Forum where he's like, billionaires like Elon Musk can say whatever they want to say. What we won't let them do is say this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you understand what free speech means, fucker?
They don't. No, they don't like it. So
I get that the Germans are a little worried about people having free speech because it led to some issues over there, Jack. But what actually led to the issue was the opposing side being shot down and not allowed to speak. It wasn't that Hitler and the Nazis were allowed to speak. It was that when they got some power, they shut down everyone else. That's where it always starts with curbing speech. Always. Because you have to do that first. But anyway, yeah, wrap it up here. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You're so kind. Sorry about the timing. I had every intention of doing it at 9, and I don't even remember falling asleep. I wasn't even really tired, Jack. Apparently I was, but I didn't feel tired. I just suddenly woke up at 3:30 and like, well, I guess I'm not doing a show at 9. Happens. Anything you want to shield, dude?
I'm dropping some links now. As always, thank you guys so much for all the support you give us. You guys are awesome. Check out Frosted Glass's channel. I was on earlier today or yesterday, technically. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And Frosted had some really disturbing articles. So be sure to check out Frosted Glass. And yeah, thanks for coming out. All our support links are in the description. You guys are fabulously beautiful. You know that.
The Nazis and Soviets both referred to themselves as socialists. Yeah, remember the Soviet Union was the Socialist Republic.
Yeah.
They were all commies. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. We love you. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, Jack, you need to review 976 Evil 2. Wait, they made a 2?
Yeah, there's part 2.
976 Evil wasn't good.
Well, that movie's great. What are you talking about?
No.
That's
that
some
movie,
awesome 80s cheese.
That movie had potential, and it sucked.
Oh, it was fantastic. You don't know what you're talking about. It's a beautiful film.
Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right one. No, the original is what I want to see, you idiots. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That movie was trash.
That movie's great trash. An 80s gem.
Fair enough. I mean, look, part of the joy of the 80s was that a lot of those movies were shit.
Yeah, they were doing experimental stuff, trying out different things, and a phone number you could call directly getting a demon. That's novelty there. That's originality.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things why I didn't enjoy the movie. I love the concept. I've said so many times that if you write out a synopsis of what 80s movies are, almost all of them are like, that is dumb as shit.
Yeah. Well, like Chopping Mall, and there's tons of great cheese out there.
Even mainstream ones. The plot of Footloose is stupid. The plot of Goonies is retarded.
Flashdance,
Gremlins, all of this shit. They're dumb as shit, but they were fun.
Yeah, that was the key. And a lot of times stuff was made for home video because people needed entertainment. And I do own 976 Evil 2. I will be reviewing it eventually. I just haven't finished that one yet. I've got like 30 things recorded that, like, she devils, or was it She Gods of Surf Beach, something like that. That's a classic coming up.
Shio says cocaine, and that's probably part of it. But you know what else? Stars didn't take themselves so seriously back then.
Yeah.
They knew that they were court jesters, and now they're political activists.
Well, and something people forget is that in order to make it in the film industry, you really need to get credits.
Yes.
You have to start somewhere. Emilia Clarke was in a movie called Jurassic Attack. I own a copy. I had to get it from South Korea. It's so hard to find.
Sandra Bullock, America's sweetheart. Her first credit, it's either her first or second credit, is in, what is it, Married to the Mob?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And her entire role in that movie is she's the mob boss's girlfriend. She comes in, sits down in his lap, and humps him as she's breaking up with him, and gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
That is how she became America's sweetheart eventually.
Yeah, George Clooney was in the second Attack of the Killer Tomatoes movie. They all got to start somewhere. So they bust their chops in some B-grade movies. There's a movie that Martin Scorsese did with Roger Corman. Roger Corman was a huge director for B movies, and he got a lot of people's careers started. So yeah, there's a lot of weird cameos and crossovers.
Johnny Depp gets his start in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Wearing the gayest outfit you will ever see.
Yeah.
Men in the 80s, what were you doing? What were you doing?
Well, I mean, they haven't gotten any better sometimes,
But now if somebody's in a movie, they immediately think that they are way better than they are. Like Rachel Zegler, when she didn't get to go to the Oscars, and she can't believe they won, and bullies her way into the Oscars as a 20-year-old nothing.
Yeah.
Get fucked. And that's what they should have told her. Get fucked.
Yeah, flame is fleeting, so you gotta make your star shine as long as possible and not be a total douchebag.
The actors of today aren't carrying movies. Like a Harrison Ford movie, you'd go see because Harrison Ford was in it and he's a good actor. Yeah. No, nobody's going to see a movie because Chris Hemsworth is in it.
Maybe a few Pumpkin Spice Americans, but that'd be
sure, but he's not carrying the movie just based on his name, and you can see that from the Thor movies.
Yeah.
He's a decent actor, way underused in comedy. He really should focus on that.
Oh yeah, he's got great comedic timing.
He really does. But he's not carrying the movie the way that it was done in the 80s. Back when they had the star power to actually act the way they do now, they didn't do it. And now these shitbags who can't even get a movie. Real quick, this is another one. Did we ever talk about Sydney Sweeney's movie?
I don't think so. Madam Web? Or
no. Ones? She just had a movie come out. See, you're actually making my point for me.
Oh.
She had a movie debut last week or the week before, and it flopped because if you've seen the trailer, it looked like it should flop. But the left all came, and this is because of the jeans ad. Does anybody know the name of that? Anybody listening? Seriously, Jack, you should go watch the trailer. It just looks bad. And there was no major marketing push for it. And they're like, it's all because of the jeans. It's like, no, because nobody's ever heard of this. And the ones of us who have looked at it and went, that looks like shit. I'm on Sydney Sweeney's side when it comes to the ad, but you couldn't pay me to watch that movie. It looks stupid. Last time Chris Hemsworth focused on comedy was Ghostbusters 2016. And he's the only redeeming part of that movie. Just saying. Americana. That's it, Jack. Look up Americana trailer. And tell me it doesn't look like shit. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
You sure it wasn't Eden?
Is it Eden?
She's got a couple movies like Eden, Echo Valley.
I'm pretty sure Americana is the right one.
Americana.
Yeah,
that says 2023. Now, I've never heard of most of these movies, so.
Yeah, no, Americana. It might have been shot in 2023, but it was released in 2025. Yeah, look at the trailer. It looks stupid as shit. But yeah, they took their victory lap because it's the genes. Yeah, that's what did it. That's what did it.
Man, she's had some real misses here.
Yeah, it's a movie about yeah. Where is it? Americana sounds like commie hate capitalism bullshit. Yes, it does. It does. You'll have to watch the trailer and then we can talk about it later, Jack. It's so.
Yeah, I'll check it out. She needs to get in a franchise film like Scream.
Oh, whoops. If all they did was have her try on jeans for 2 hours, it would have got better audience. I'm just saying. Nobody's watching Sydney Sweeney for her excellent acting abilities. She's got big old titties. She should be a scream queen.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She needs to get in like a Scream movie. And at some point in the movie, she has to do like Carmen Electra did and run through sprinklers on.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, and then that movie will be a box office sensation.
She would be an excellent actual scream queen, not the parody movies, but actually put her in horror flicks as the chick who's surviving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The big old honking boobies. And well, then you said the Carmen Electra thing, and that was in Scary Movie.
Yeah, but it was a great scene, and everybody remembers it.
Love that scene.
Yeah, but you do a scene like that, well, she's running from a killer, and I mean, look, anybody can write a horror movie, especially a slasher film, and you throw a chick in there that's even mildly hot and run her through something where her shirt gets wet. I don't care if it's blood or water or what. And people are going to love it because they're going to be like, boobies. And there's one thing that happens in horror film, and that's to see the plot. The big old honking plot.
Sydney does movies. She does. And I don't understand why people keep putting her in movies because they don't do well. But boy, does she look good on the red carpet. Has she had a successful movie?
Madam Web.
I know about her because of Madam Web, and she blew up around that time, and everybody talking about her boobies. I've never seen a movie she's in.
Yeah, I know some of the TV shows she's been in have been big hits, like Handmaid's Tale and Euphoria was pretty big.
Okay. So she comes from the television universe.
Yeah, that makes White Lotus.
Sense. Gotcha.
But most of her movie stuff is stuff I've never heard of, quite honestly. Oh, she's on Pretty Little Liars for one episode.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that you did see a lot back in the 80s. They're like, some girl will blow up on TV and they're like, put her in movies, and nobody cared.
Yeah. It looks like she did a lot of bit part stuff. She was on an episode of Criminal Minds and Heroes.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she's just the pretty girl. So they put her in a bunch of stuff.
And that's what scream queens are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can't act, but they're pretty.
Yeah, I was watching a documentary on the first official Scream Queen, Fay Wray.
Yeah.
and that really because she was in like 3 or 4 horror movies, and then she got in King Kong, and she could scream on cue, which a lot of actresses at the time couldn't do because sound was still relatively new in 33. And that made her career.
Yeah.
And I mean, she really didn't do a whole lot of movies after that. She kind of retired from acting for a while because her husband got real sick. But fascinating how just being able to scream well could get you a career as far back as the beginning of talkies.
Yeah. But we also don't have really good horror franchises anymore.
No, because they have to make them all PC nonsense bullshit now. So it's kind of hard to make a good mainstream horror film. Most of the good ones are effectively B movies now.
We have Halloween coming up, so I'll be watching horror movies again. And I'm going to watch the Scream franchise again. And there's something that happens between 3 and 4 where 3 really should have been the end of it.
Yes, I agree.
And they came up with some cool concepts for keeping it going. It's the rest of the movie that sucks. You know what I mean? It's like they had an interesting idea, and then you watch the rest of it and like, oh, this is just bad.
Yeah, by the time you get to like 4 and 5, they've really drifted too far. And they really should have. I understand what they were trying to do with 6 by putting the focus more on newer people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good idea, but they didn't do it right.
Well, Wes Craven kind of tied their hands because it was all around Billy and his mom and Sydney's mom ruining the relationship and everything.
Yeah.
And so it's not like a Freddy who, if you just live on Elm Street, you're in danger, or Jason who, if you come to Crystal Lake or the moon for some reason, you're in danger. But we really haven't had great villains like that. There's no new Pinhead. There's no new Chucky. And
Hollywood is intellectually bankrupt. So they tried that with Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies, but that's just splatter gore. That's lazy. That's not even good writing. 20 minutes of a torture scene is boring to watch.
Frankly, the Saw movies really just, and probably Hostel before it, really kind of ruined the genre.
That after Saw 2, they really went downhill.
Yeah, the first Saw,
splatter.
The first Saw is amazing. It's just psychological. 90% of it is psychological, and there's very little gore compared to the late. Lady Monkey was watching them, and I think it was 3 is the one where I'm like, no, I'm out, because this is just gore porn.
Yeah, and that's lazy writing.
Yeah.
You're just trying to be shocking for the sake of being shocking, and that's not good writing. That's just some makeup artist who's trying really hard to make a name for themselves. And that's one of the flaws with some of the low-budget stuff in horror, especially in the 90s and early 2000s. They just went full splatter gore, and it's boring.
Yeah.
You get tired of watching that shit. I found myself like fast forwarding through a lot of those sequences because they're not adding anything except padding the runtime. And it's really bad in like zombie movies.
Uh-oh.
So what?
Well, you were muted for me there for a second.
Yeah, I muted for a second because I was shifting my weight. The chair squeaks so much.
Gotcha.
So when I move certain ways, it squeaks a lot.
Final Destination has been brought up in both chats here. What about the Final Destination series and Final Destination? I've never watched them. I cannot comment on those ones because I didn't find the premise interesting enough to watch. And around that time when Final Destination's first coming out is around the time I really stopped watching horror movies for a while.
Yeah. Well, a couple of them are pretty good, but after a while, they're just trying to come up with a Rube Goldberg device to kill people. And so it's overly complicated deaths. And yeah, some of them are interesting, but I don't know. I think 2 of those movies was pretty much enough for me. There's like 7 of them now.
I stopped watching the genre after I Know What You Did Last Summer 2.
Oh God, I hated the first one. It was so stupid.
The first one wasn't very good, but it was passable, and the second one was just trash.
Yeah. No, there's some really good horror films out there. I've been watching a lot of older stuff that I haven't seen in 20 or 30 years. I mean, like stuff from the 50s and 60s and 70s. The 70s really was kind of the golden age for horror films.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it set up the slasher films with Halloween and Friday the 13th really solidified it. Yep. But if you go before that, you look at like The Town That Dreaded Sundown, Drive-In Massacre. Those movies really kind of were the proto-slasher films. And they're not that gory.
No.
But they have pretty high body counts and pretty good plots. Town That Dreaded Sundown is a pseudo-documentary, though. That's based on a true story.
That is one of the few movies that fucked me up for life.
Yeah, it's especially because that actually happened.
The movies like the first time I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, this is a true story. I didn't bathe for a month. I was afraid the bathtub was going to open up.
Oh yeah, that's a legitimate fear.
I was probably too young to watch it when I did. But I'm not afraid of movie monsters. Real people, that shit scares the shit out of me.
It should, because real people are more dangerous than movie monsters. But monsters can be killed. People are like, you don't know who's good and who's bad. You see a monster, you know it's gonna be a problem. Did you ever see the movie Them?
I want to say yes, but it was so long ago I couldn't tell you what it's about.
Not the giant ant movie. It's about creatures that live in mirrors. And it's this really fucked up premise that I think it's a Wes Craven movie, but I'm not positive. Some famous director did it. I'd have to look it up. But they come through and grab kids, and there's a couple of kids that survived into adulthood, and they come back for them after a long period of time. It's a really messed up movie. It's just such a great premise. It's not particularly scary, but it's not like The Grudge where you're like, oh, those Asians are pretty terrifying. No, it's just like these weird monster things that come out of closets and mirrors. It was really fun.
All right, for real this time, we're wrapping up.
That's They. I get those two mixed up. Look it up. It's from like 2002.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Like I said, Halloween's coming up, so Lady Monkey won't watch horror movies with me, so I have to watch them here in my room and get scared.
Well, let me know which ones you're going to watch, and we'll talk about them, because I have a huge horror movie collection.
And on that note, guys, for real this time, take care of yourselves. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Just kidding. We're still going to keep going.